Turn my volume up, and I will turn your volumes up. And greetings and salutations, travelers. Welcome back to the Inn of Planar Crossroads. We are specifically at the Inn of Planar Crossroads with the Around the Hearth this time, and we're going to be discussing trinkets and archetypes. So trinkets, items, and archetypes in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. But first, let's do our announcements. Less than 5 minutes. Here we go. You can time me. The disclaimer is that this is an adult podcast that sometimes features adults that use adult language, not this particular one, but others. You have been warned.
I will always regret not getting Addie to say thanks, Dad, at the in-person game. But I'll say it now. Thanks, Dad.
The Pathfather has spoken. And the Path Son is not present at the moment. They are upstairs and told to be quiet. So, there we go.
Boy.
I say that. I don't know. No, I don't say that to him that much. Anyway, you're distracting me from my 5 minutes limit. Patreon is going for both the Inn of Planar Crossroads and Black Dragon Gaming. For the Inn of Planar Crossroads, we have a giveaway happening at $50 a month. If we reach that tier, that amount of support, we will be giving away a rule book of the individual's choice. If we get to $100 a month, we're going to be giving away a Pathfinder 2nd Edition Playtest Special Edition rule book. And it's going to be, again, at $100 a month. Black Dragon Gaming has a thing going on where if they reach $300 a month, they're going to be, let me see, what was it? $300 a month was what, Tommy?
$300 a month means I will take 6 more people through Doomsday Dawn, and that's almost done, too. Well, not Doomsday Dawn. That isn't out yet. But the giveaway ends on the 2nd of July, which is next Monday. Yeah, next Monday. In 7 days, so you gotta get on it.
1 week, people. We've already said what our current video is. I should probably move that around on my announcements things. Our next subscriber giveaway, we have our own thing going on for our subscribers. We're going to be doing a 200 subscriber one-shot. That we've reached 200, so we're going to be doing that. You have until the end of this week to apply, and then we will run early July. So, there you go. If you want to get in on that, now's the time. You can send in you can see under our announcements, there is a announcement about all the things you'll need, and it's right there. Our next subscriber appreciation will be done at 400 because we do it every time we double. So 400 is next, and that one should be the one that Colin is able to run, the fun one that Colin's able to run. And our giveaway this month is a mystery gift that I picked up at the con. It's actually a 2-part thing, so you get 2 things this month in celebration of us meeting up and being able to buy some stuff at the con that we can give away. And then next month we'll have another thing from the con. And I believe that's it. So, less than 5 minutes. All right.
You did it.
I did. We did it. So let's go ahead and get into the discussion, gentlemen. Pathfinder 2nd Edition playtest and their archetypes for all blog posts is what we'll go over first. And then we'll come to trinkets. So, let's see. How's about we let... we know that Tommy's read it, so we'll let Tommy make his remarks about archetypes for the archetype post, and then we'll give ours. How about that?
Okay, sure. I actually, when I was doing that, when I got in from St. Louis, by the way, I miss you guys. That was super fun. I freaked out at first when I read it, because in my 1E head, I see that archetypes are going to take a feat, and I lost it because I don't want to lose a feat to be a pirate. That sucks. But the thing about it that I really like is it's a class feat that you're losing. The same thing an archetype would do in 1E, except now it's completely 100% modal, buildable to how you want to do it. You'll trade away what you don't like about, I think the example I used was a paladin. Say you don't want divine grace on your paladin in 2nd edition because it's a reaction now and you're pissed off about that. And hey, I agree. But I digress. You don't have to take divine grace. Instead, you grab something like the ability to have extra damage dice when you shiver me timbers on a rope from one boat to another, which is, I think that's cool. Extra damage dice is sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I really like what they're doing with prestige classes. I think a lot of times in 1E, like a prestige class was either like something like the Shadow Dancer, the Dragon Disciple in some circles, the Duelist, and classes. I think those are like the big three that I'm aware of. Oh, the Evangelist. A lot of people like the Evangelist. That you would like, you take that prestige class and you run it. Agent of the Grave as well, Donald Liddell, and take it from like beginning to end and just, and it's a good prestige class. Then again, you also have like
really like the Master Chymist and the Holy Vindicator.
Fair enough. And by that notion, also like things like in Rise of the Rune Lords that I play with these guys, at level 10, Necros is going to become a Mammoth Rider. He's just going to dip it. And I like in the void that exists between, a lot of the other prestige classes are just like 3.5 throwbacks that are all bad. And I think we're going to miss that in
Dragon
second
Disciple,
edition.
I felt was strong.
Yeah, it was real good. I came off the 3.5 Dragon Disciple, which literally put the half dragon template on you over the course of 10 levels, just slowly handing you all the bosses. To say nothing of like the Planar Shepherd. But
I miss
the Grey
Paragon
Maiden
levels from 3.5.
Yeah. The Grey Maiden in 2E looks really, really, really good, and if that's indicative of how a lot of classes will work, I'm excited for that. Like the Assassin, for example, is, some people like him, and that's great, but I think the Assassin Prestige class in first edition is hot garbage.
It's bad.
Compared
it's
to
real
like
bad.
Just play a
like
Slayer.
a Knife Master Rogue, a Slayer. Yeah, right. They can do it that much, but they don't have to sit there and for 18 seconds and then hope they can get that fort save in. I really like it. I like that things aren't tied to class anymore, that like anybody can be anything. I don't like, I guess, like it feels weird that like you had some archetypes that were definitively another flavor of that class. For example, like the Kensai Magus is a good example of this. Like he's real good with the sword and magic, but this one is the Eastern flavored one. I don't know how we'll replicate that, if we'll replicate that in second edition. I guess that remains to be seen, but
well,
all in all, it seemed like a really good blog to me.
Mm-hmm. I'm personally liking the shift up of it. I'm liking the fact, like you said, it does feel very modular. It feels very much like they're giving the player control over what happens with their character. And it's... I don't know, it's like they're taking a lot of that player control that you see in Fate and weaving it slowly into Pathfinder 2nd Edition in the sense of, you've got this and this and this you can do, but if you want to do something that's different, there's going to be an archetype for that. And you can take it at any type of level. So, I mean, like if you want to be a swashbuckling paladin or a Grey Maiden ranger or whatever, or a Grey Maiden bard for all that matters, I don't know. Bards will probably have the ability to take feats in the sense of getting eventually to an expert.
If they don't, that's a bad class. What even?
I mean, enough feats. Enough feats.
No feats. Play your instrument and be quiet. Okay, I'm sorry.
And be quiet.
And be quiet.
Part of me is curious when it comes to the archetype prestige. Is there going to be alignment lock for certain prestige classes? Because I know the Grey Maiden and some of the good aligned prestige classes, you have to be good. So are they just going to be throwing away the alignment?
Well, did they announce the Grey Maiden is coming back for second edition?
Right here in the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't say anything.
It's really good.
It doesn't say anything about alignment, so I assume...
Well, that's good, because the Grey Maiden in first D is kind of meh.
It's good here.
Did it have an alignment requirement on it?
They are probably not going to have alignment locks for some of the prestige archetypes, which is good, because certain prestige classes are like, but it's the alignment lock that they have at times.
Yeah.
I can see
I think really the alignment lock, we're just going to see like paladins and clerics, and that's just like paladins for now. I think they'll let up the reins, maybe, but I think it's going to be more like Like your Holy Vindicator will probably have an alignment restriction.
In the same way the cleric does. The holy
yeah, but it won't be like must be all levels, cannot be chaotic neutral, none of this, that kind of thing. I think we'll see a lot like cut out.
Yeah, probably they are just going to have alignment lock, lawful, chaotic, just for certain ones, just for their flavor. Like just Hell Knights have to be lawful.
Yeah, Hell Knights for sure.
Or assassins. They'll probably keep assassins as evil. Or they may not even do an assassin archetype. Yeah. They may just have it for prestige class either way. They may just have it as its own type of
It might be
feat.
an archetype, not a prestige class.
If they do bring the assassin back into second edition, they definitely need to buff it because the concept of the assassin I like, but first edition assassin is terrible.
So,
well, I mean, they've buffed everything else so far, so...
Everything's buffed. Everything's bigger as far... and that is something I don't know... I don't know really how to feel about because I liked the idea that that no matter how strong the characters got, unless you went like Gestalt or unless you went to 20 with epic levels and stuff like that, you didn't feel like it was epic levels before you started getting mythic tier stuff. You get to like 15 and 20, you started feeling really, really powerful. After that,
I don't know. I haven't played it yet. So I still don't think I'm going to feel like I'm a master of the universe before 10th or 15th level.
I generally find characters get to be pretty powerful level 10 onwards based upon build. Generally level 15 onward for sure because you get access to some of the game-breaking spells by that point if you go a full caster.
Well,
just nerf those spells. Let's take Black Tentacles and Great Pit and fucking Enervation. Just take all that shit out.
Yeah, and Enervation and Black Tentacles. Black Tentacles, when I think of the spell, I have bad memories just thinking of how people used it just for flavor and what it looked like.
Well, I like the way that Alex flavored his. If you want to see how he did that, go over to the End of Planet Crossroads. He's got Abaddon flavored.
Check this card up in the top corner.
There you go. But
Abaddon's love.
Yep. But I don't know. It seems like some of the archetypes, like Pirate, will be very, very situational. Pirate is definitely one you won't take if you're going to be landlocked. It's not like a swashbuckler type of archetype. It is definitely a specifically I sail around, not I kind of flourish and whirl. So we're probably going to see a lot more archetypes, but they're all going to be like mini archetypes, if that makes sense, is how I'm kind of getting an idea of it. Well,
and I liked how they did them in Starfinder, because Tommy's right, they do seem very similar to the way that they were applying archetypes in Starfinder, where they were sort of like a half template that you applied on top of your character in exchange for honestly not very much.
Mm-hmm.
It also kind of feels like the backgrounds. I know they're not called backgrounds in Starfinder. I always forget what they're called because I didn't play that much Starfinder with y'all. But it kind of feels like that too, like how like 06, for example, is an ace pilot, though that's in character creation. It's like the buffs seem to hit around the same time as if like you wanted to make somebody a pirate in second edition.
I think maybe that the archetypes and vocations, careers, themes,
that's what it was.
That's
themes, yes, that's the one.
Themes they're just gonna kind of get rolled into one, and then the Pathfinder 2's backgrounds are gonna be maybe more unique.
There's a lot more.
I could be wrong.
And they seem to offer more benefits. The backgrounds in Pathfinder 2nd Edition seem to offer more benefits than did the themes of Starfinder. Starfinder, you got a couple skills and you got a few things from it, but it didn't really feel like it was going to be things that would benefit you in a broad way or benefit you necessarily in downtime, whereas Pathfinder 2e is specifically going down the alleyway of your background will be important for how you make money just as much as your class will in downtime. So, and they're focusing in on the 3 phases of that: the downtime,
and I think they're doing
downtime, exploration, and battle.
Mm-hmm. I think they're also implementing these systems to like help make classes, or not classes, to help make your player characters more unique. Mm-hmm. So, like every instantiation, every character you make is going to be different. You're not going to see the same character, over and over and over again, like you do in certain circles in first edition. I don't. If I ever see another duelist, I'm going to throw up my mouth.
Or like synthesis
swashbuckler,
or a synthesis paladin.
Yeah, or then you can have like a synthesis barbarian if you want to. That exists now, and I think that's really cool.
I like these though. The pirate one, if the pirate one is one to go off of, these are definitely going to be more flavor oriented than they are something else. It's going to be something specific for the campaign. I'm sure there will be archetypes that shine in the majority of campaigns, because the majority of campaigns will happen in, deciduous forests or evergreen forests, or sometimes you'll go to the desert,
or like Skull and Shackles.
Yeah, 2E Skull and Shackles. Everybody's going to play a pirate.
Mm-hmm. You are a pirate.
You're going to be real good at boats. So good at boats.
But they do say that there's like 6 different feats coming for the pirate or something. Yeah, pirate archetype has 6 feats to choose from. So you've got, in addition to the dedication feat, which is the first feat you have to get to start qualifying for all the others, you get that. So a total of 7. So if that's kind of the idea, there's going to be 7 archetypal feats. And if you only want sea legs and boarding action, or you only want sea legs and one of the other ones, you just take those, and then you go back to your regular feats from your class, or dip into another one after you take the 3rd one. So it's definitely,
you can always come back to those feats later.
Yeah, definitely something interesting. I did like the idea about, like, in first edition archetypes, I liked them in the sense that you could stack them as long as they didn't change the same thing. But here, I suppose you could stack them from level 2, and if you're playing a fighter, you could a fighter get a feat at every level, basically. So you could really stack at least 2 archetypes very well, if you find 2 that blend together. I think fighters are going to be the stars of Pathfinder 2nd Edition in the martial classes, anyway.
Good, finally.
I'm with the fighter. I'm thinking the Magus or something like the Magus is going to be a archetype property for them.
I would think that's an accurate assessment. From what we're seeing,
I agree. I've got a lot of people on my channel that are worried about like the fate of their Bladebound Magus, and I mean, same. But the Magus might end up as an archetype, which isn't bad. I mean, I'll play a spell striking barbarian. Yeah, sure. Give me my greatsword and shocking grasp. We'll do that. That'll be amazing.
Well, you probably got a totem for that.
Whatever will I do with our spell storing Earthbreaker 15d6 electricity at 3rd level? Horseshit.
It wasn't 15. It was 6. Yeah, it was 6.
No, it was more than that. You were rolling a lot of d6s, and you were like level 5.
Yeah, I was level 5, so it was 10d6 plus 2d6 from the damage of the weapon.
See, there you go. I'm only rolling 12 d6.
For that setting again, Kate. I want to play my Magus again. It was fun. I should
have just DM'd for Adam Lataninsky. Should have just been me in the poll. I'm gonna let you BDG motherfuckers in my game.
I am curious. So with the archetypes, so does this mean the Magus cannot have a Shocking Grasp as a cantrip anymore with traits?
No, I don't. We don't know. We don't even know how the Magus is going to work, Donald. We have to see.
Also, I hope definitely not.
Good.
Definitely yes. It's part of the class. Then we're just a weird magic-y sword dude. I guess I could use like
yeah, who can
else you got?
electrocute people, but only 5 times instead of a bajillion.
It's not enough. I need 6 shocks.
Would I fire 6 shocking grabs or 5?
At once.
Having
Feel
shocking grasp being used as many times per day, so that's pretty powerful as a cantrip. So having like 5-6 times per day is a good amount, but definitely want to see traits being brought in for certain class features to use.
Well, you get an infinite amount of it if you go with a merciful shocking grasp. You get an infinite amount of it when you take magical lineage. That's what Chazaka has.
That damage will tick over to lethal. You can definitely defibrillate someone to death.
What is it?
That's
double the hit point pool is death by non-lethal damage.
Yeah.
Yep.
You beat him until he's a vegetable.
Yep. But so that's archetypes. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking that the prestige classes are basically like bigger chunked archetypes. It'll be interesting to see which ones they decide to bring over. The Grey Maiden looks very powerful as far as an archetype. And I wonder how... I mean, you can homebrew anything. You can homebrew anything, but the Grey Maiden seems... It has a prerequisite that you have to be part of the Grey Maidens. So... GMs are either going to have some other kind of organization that is similar in their homebrews.
Which is easy enough to do.
Right. But like if you're doing
in Pathfinder Society, if you want to play a Hell Knight in Society, you don't have to that's why I'm doing it for Lucia, is just to make it so much easier. You don't have to go fight that devil in the presence of that Hell Knight to do that thing. And I imagine a lot of tables will do that same thing. But certainly Society will in second edition. Just one imagines.
In a home game, it would be a lot easier to maybe orchestrate something like that. If the Hell Knights didn't exist in your system, there'd have to be something.
When it comes to certain prestige classes, in any given setting, there are usually requirements to take that class, such as to be a diabolist, you have to bound a devil and command it to do something take longer than a day. And that's maybe difficult at most. That can be difficult based upon what table you're at.
Yeah.
And how good you are at arguing with someone like, here's all this money, do my bidding.
Well, I mean, if you tried to get it to do something that was more than a day, say, okay, go get me the feather of an angel. That'd take more than a day, right?
Yeah, but you'd also have to pay that devil a lot.
Oh, you have to do it that way. Okay. I thought they was like bound to do what you say to do or something like that.
Well, yeah, but that's how... Well, okay, maybe planar binding doesn't work that way. I'm thinking of planar ally. Planar binding, you could probably do it, but that also still involves...
Yeah, generally, when it comes to certain prestige classes, getting the requirement done can be quite difficult. The assassin, it's easy. You kill someone for money, effectively.
Well, you have to kill them specifically.
As GM lets it be.
You have to kill them specifically for the purpose of becoming an assassin. And by law, no one has to witness it.
Which probably means the assassin said that, like, you go kill this guy. It's not like, I'm going to walk out on the street, oh, look, a drunk beggar. I'm an assassin now. I don't think it's going to work that way.
Well, I mean...
Again, that's all GM interpretation.
That basically means you have to take out... Like, someone gives you a contract that someone is taking out on them, so there's probably a time constraint, and, like, maybe it has to look like an accident, and maybe this person isn't super easy to get hold of.
Side quest.
Yeah, you have 3 hours, kill the Emperor.
They should all be assassins now. There we go.
So
I'll do an all assassin one shot. Be sweet.
So this mean I cannot use the Elder Scrolls logic of how to become an assassin. Just kill someone.
We know.
Yeah.
Yeah, have the Black Hand show up in your PO box.
Just so you know, you're going to die.
Your PO box.
Nice to meet you. We keep saying we haven't actually gone over why we keep saying that Grey Maiden is good. So the Grey Maiden is good because you got a prereq for it, but your Grey Maiden training steeled you against harsh conditions. You got to be you become a master at fortitude saves, which is nice. When you succeeded a save, you treat it as a crit success, which I think is a normal thing for master, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, because the barbarians do it too.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
You also gain access to a special armor. This is one of the things. Grey Maiden Plate. Grey Maiden Plate is a level 3 item that costs 600 silver pieces. Don't be alarmed, people. They're using the silver standard, not the gold standard in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, which I'm okay with.
It's an evolving economy.
Yeah. It grants a +7 AC and a +3 TAC. So your AC and your TAC are going to be upped quite a bit with a dex cap of 0, which means it's not going to penalize you. It's not going to penalize your dex in the sense of, hey, you're going to take a bunch of penalties, as in the same way that you would with a regular full plate that's going to say you don't get any dex at all. You might even take a negative or something like that. Otherwise, it's treated like full plate. So we'll see what those negatives may be when we see full plate. But the special is you cannot select another... Oh, that's for something else. But that's just the dedication feat, which the earliest you can take it is 6. So you could be... Fighters are going to be the people that stack archetypes the best in 2nd edition, apparently, because they get the most feats. And rogues get the most skills. So it's going to be... Your basic party will be a fighter, rogue, and maybe cleric. Or wizard.
Fighter, rogue, 2 other things.
Well, fighter, rogue, and alchemist. That'll be your main. That'll probably be your main group, based upon what we're seeing.
Some kind of full caster.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're all full casters now, so some kind of caster.
Well, alchemist is specifically not even a caster anymore, are they?
Nope, not even a caster.
They're not.
So you don't even have to worry about
alchemy is now like a
science,
a strictly like non-magical ritual medicine.
I think that's super cool.
Yeah, so do I. I also like the idea of there being like special armors you can only get if you're part of this organization. Like it's, well, I mean, it kind of sounds like guild equipment, but
it's totally guild equipment.
I think
what it is.
It could be a cool storytelling tool. Like if you ran into someone who was wearing Grey Maiden armor who clearly was not a Grey Maiden, like they
maybe I killed a Jedi and took it from him.
Yeah,
it's the same thing with like Hell Knight plate and how it is in Pathfinder 1st Edition. Same idea.
Oh yeah,
I agree. That's super sweet.
Like we talked about playing a Star Wars game for ages and ages, and I always get hung up on the idea of playing a smuggler with a stolen lightsaber that he uses as a cigarette lighter.
The mechanics of doing that are really, really bad.
Oh yeah. What, using a lightsaber as a cigarette lighter?
I'm just holding it close enough to light.
I know you probably don't smoke, Tommy, but I don't hold my lighter under my wrist.
No, I mean like you will cut your hand off.
Whoa, no.
How will I hold my smoke now? Ah!
In your face. You hold it in your purse, and then you hold it like that. But the secondary feat that it talks about for the Grey Maiden is the Unbreakable, which both Tommy from his video and I think is quite a strong feat. You can endure a staggering amount of punishment, increase your maximum hit points by your level. And it increases as your level goes up. So every time you gain a level, you gain another hit point. And you die at... Yeah, but it stacks with toughness.
So it's greater toughness.
It stacks with...
Improved toughness.
Yeah. You die at dying 5 instead of dying 4. Or dying 6 if you have the Die Hard feat. Toughness. And it combines with the Die Hard feat and toughness. You are built to take punishment. These guys take more punishment than paladins. If you stack this with a paladin...
style character with that.
Yeah,
You're like an
You don't know what
agent
style?
of fate who's very, very hard to kill. John Constantine.
Yeah,
Constant.
Asian
died,
of
like-
Fate style character, you said?
No, John Constantine is like an old comic book character. He's died like several hundred times or something. He just keeps coming back.
He keeps making his way
Damn.
back from hell. He's like an exorcist. Imagine the Exorcist in a world with Batman, and you kind of got John Constantine.
Yeah, except John Constantine could kick Batman's ass.
Well, I mean, they would kick each other's butts. I think
mean,
that it
that's
would be
true.
a really big problem if they ever ended up fighting with each other. It'd be like he'd be using magic and Batman be using other stuff, and it'd be like, who knows what Batman has in his vaults?
I'm just saying the first altercation there would probably be Constantine sicking like a mummy on Batman. Like, it would be bad.
Yeah, it would be bad.
With the Grey Maiden, part of me just wants to see how tough can a person make their character to the point that it's very tough for them to die, sort of like in 5e.
Yeah,
I mean, you can do it in Pathfinder First Edition.
Yeah, first edition you can, but I want to see how optimized you can use the Grey Maiden at the basis.
Yeah, I think it'll be really easy. And that, like, any class can do it as long as they meet those priests. So, like, you're going to see a lot of people able to join the Grey. It's kind of like in Skyrim, you don't have to be a rogue to become a member of the Dark Brotherhood. You could be, like, the big old werewolf Nord Great Axe dude and still go do the thing.
well, technically, you can
And I
still
like that. I
sneak
think it's
attack
really
with a
flavorful.
great axe. So
No one's gonna
Yes,
catch you if you're a werewolf, dude. You'll just run away and you'll turn back and they'll be like, "Oh, look at all these soldiers! Have you seen a man who was a wolf?" And you're like, "No,
No.
that sounds terrifying. You should go do something about
My,
that." I find my pants.
Playing Elder Scrolls game, my favorite way to take up foes is just to play the very very stealthy combat mage, and not even use dagger.
The only way to
Well.
do it is you just got to Fusro Dom off the cliff. That's the only way.
Are
Your
you
shout
sure
will
you're not
echo
going to
across
play a
Sylvan
stealth
Garden.
archer like every other person who's ever played Skyrim?
you know, I've never
That was my
played a
first character,
stealth archer because I didn't like the way the aiming went. So I was like, no, I'll just run up there and kill them.
Hmm.
Or blast them. Magic is king. So, anyway, let's get on to the trinkets and treasures, because there's actually several things talked about here that is relevant for every character. Every character is going to have to buy stuff. They talk about resonance and how it's going to work a lot. They drop, just like they did in the alchemist thing, they drop about alchemists being basically item crafters, kind of the best item crafters, which we'll see. We'll find that out in the mechanics ourselves. If they truly are the best, they probably will be. But there's a lot packed into this one. I liked going to the resonance part, that you do have your resonance pool that is there, but there's also a check you can make if you run out of resonance but want to activate something, which is, they say it's a d20 roll with no modifiers against a DC equal to 10 plus the number of points you've overspent that day. So if you're at 0, it is just 10. If you have all of your resonance points spent, it's just 10. Now, to use that thing, it will start to add up. So if you do successfully use that, which you probably will, it's a 50% chance, just a basic flat 50% chance. Then, you could do that, and then you'd have an overspending of maybe 1 or 2 resonance. Then it goes up by 5% basically each time you're activating something. If it's 1 resonance, which isn't crazy. There are probably going to be feats to negate that. Maybe bards will be able to negate that. Maybe they'll get to add something. That would be cool. Bards, I'd like.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if there was. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that I'd like it if, because we haven't seen a bard spotlight yet, I'd like it if bards were the ones that got the most resonance and they were able to do more with items, as being something that they can do that others can't. because your alchemists are going to be the ones that can make all the cool stuff. Your wizards are going to be the ones that are blasting spells. Your sorcerers are going to be the ones that are blasting spells. I mean, they always kind of step on each other's toes a little bit, but they have different roles. Your fighters are going to be the best feat takers. Your rogues are going to be the best skill monkeys. So the bard can't be the best skill monkey, and the barbarians are going to be the best damage straight off dealers right off the bat. What's the bard going to do? Hopefully use items.
He's going to sing his song and play his lute. It's like that episode of Dexter's Lab where he GMs and then he ends up GMing in it, and then he has to be a player. I unsheath my deadly mandolin. Best episode of Dexter's Lab ever. Especially after you get it.
What, the Dexter's a crappy GM?
Well,
I mean, like, once you know what Dungeons and Dragons is, and you go back and watch I think they called it Mazes and Monsters, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, like that bad Tom Hanks movie.
It's not his fault.
It's not his fault.
That kid ran away from home. He wouldn't even hurt. He's just dumb and awful.
There you go.
Yeah. I like a lot of the stuff about, like, I think I like resonance. I don't know. The blog points out that at higher levels, it won't be, like, a real big issue, and I think that's absolutely correct, especially because we don't have the big 6 anymore. And the flat checks, I like those as well. We've talked about those. Like, we've seen them in, like, when GCP played Crypt of the Everything. They were there.
Well, I mean,
it's a thing.
If you're playing a superstitious barbarian, your resonance probably isn't going to matter.
Yeah.
That
is true.
You're not going to want to be wearing magic armor or have trinkets around because you don't trust them because you are a backwards forest man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like cell phones.
I don't like cell phones. I ain't spending no damn resonance on this damn cell phone. Give me my great axe, boy. Boy. That was a really bad Kratos. Like,
boy.
You got me. I wonder then if the superstitious barbarian will be like the old school Vow of Poverty monk. That he gets a bunch of buffs that are real great, but just can't use magic items.
Well, he'll have to if he's not spending resonance.
That'd be real sweet.
He may be able to spend his resonance in other ways.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, they might just have rules for spending resonance on things that aren't magic items.
Yeah.
Like trinkets, for example. Well, you don't spend resonance on trinkets. They're just single activation. No, you do spend resonance. That's right.
You have to spend it, but it's like an instant thing, I believe.
Strange.
Speaking of which, let's move down into some of the items they talk about. They did make 4 points that they want using items to be clear and consistent. It should be. It should be pretty clear. They tell you what actions you need to have for it. It's a little confusing on the Cloak of Elvenkind because it's just kind of complicated. But we'll get to that.
Because it does, like, 3 different things.
Yeah.
It costs 1 active... You invest in it, and you get the bonus to stealth, and you get the second thing that I don't remember. But then you spend a point, like an additional second point for the invisibility, which I think is really cool. I think it's super sweet that all these items are going to have, like, 2 or 3 or 4 different things to do, because it's more stuff to play around with.
Yeah, it'll also definitely like simplify and maybe even diversify the kind of magic items you see on characters.
Yeah,
I mean that was going to happen anyways because they were killing the big 6, so people aren't spending all of their money on belt, headband, armor, weapon, like other headband, book.
Yeah, you're not going to buy the manuals anymore.
The Cloak of Elvenkind also, like, if you get the Boots of Elvenkind, it's a greater bonus, like the Diablo 2 set pieces.
Yeah, if you complete the set.
Having a item that serves many purposes, I definitely like that. If they do manage to have, let's say, a entire mage set, that would be even better for each of the classes.
Well, I don't think they're not class specific, but I just see what you're getting at.
Yeah.
There are items that specifically pertain to classes. Like for fighters, you have the War Champion's sash, and for Inquisitors, you have stuff like the Bane Baldric or the Monk's Robe for monks.
Mhm.
So there
There's
could
one
be
for
stuff like that,
sorcerers, too.
and they might for source. I know what you're talking about. I can't think of what it's called right now.
The robes of arcane heritage.
Yes,
Lets you get your bloodline a little
Yeah.
faster.
4 levels on your bloodline powers. But I don't know if they'll make those kind of items into their own sets. That would be interesting.
Hmm.
But I feel like that might be a little overpowered because it would just be a set of things that made you effectively a higher level.
Well, come on,
if they
Kane.
do.
If overpowered is the name of the game for Pathfinder 2nd Edition.
Right? If you can't trivialize
yeah.
combat and all of the other math, why even play?
Exactly. Boom.
Having a robe of the robe of Archmage or those powerful items, I want to have those items in the game so I can say, look at my powerful character. He can do many things and cast spells above his current level.
Yeah, but who are we saying that to? Nobody.
Yeah,
I mean, the
it is
viewers,
to the
maybe.
GM.
Who are you shaking your dick at? That's what we need to know.
It is
The
to
viewers, that's what I'm hearing.
it is
Do you hear that, viewers? Do you hear and or see that?
it is to the GM and it is to the GM and to the players to like look at how powerful my character is on paper.
You just have to put like a
Oops, you died.
waggly sound effect in there for this.
I will
Just
not.
like a little
Heart
foley.
disease.
There
Nope,
is there is nothing wrong boasting about how powerful certain builds are. Hint hint hint. Certain builds Tommy made.
No one wants to hear
Paladin 2, Scaled Fist 1, and then whatever you want to do. Just get your saves.
I'm doing it.
Allergic to bad saves.
I'm doing it. There's no
Come on,
other
you're trying
archetypes.
to beat me in more big caliber.
I'm trying to beat your high score of AC 60 something, which I'm on my way
3.
Mm.
to. But
Yeah, you've also got a mischance
I'm-
going too most of the time.
I'm
Yep.
honored. It feels good.
that's
Make sure
just
to kill you guys just top of the next session. Oops, look at
It'll
all the bad
probably
stuff
happen,
you
'cause
shoot.
I-
Aha.
I don't have any. I don't have the money, Tommy. I didn't get to spend my dosh.
That might be
like
your
they did.
birthday present. When your birthday comes around and everybody else is getting all these like Francis is a plant, Lucia can cast cleric spells. I might just put you to wolf. No, that'd be real bad. Just okay, you get wolf by level.
Yeah, you get to be the same as everyone else. Congratulations.
Congratulations. But back to what we're talking about. Cloak of Elvenkind has some fun stuff going on with it. Very flavorful. We've talked about it. You get a bit of invisibility when you're looking at it. It lasts for a minute, which is plenty of time to sneak around. And it also lets you cast Ghost Sound as a cantrip. It says innate
Sound is really
arcane
good.
spell. So just a little quick distraction over there. You slip on your hood, and that's what it is. You flip the hood up, and it activates the item. It can be a focus activation
Hey,
or
Greg
an
used
operative
Ghost Sound
activation.
really, really good. Greg used Ghost Sound really, really good in it's gonna go live tomorrow-ish. The audio is really bad because we didn't rent a studio. But Ghost Sound is really good if you
Next
know how to
time.
use it.
Next time we'll get one of those
So-
B&B with a sound studio in it. It'll be great.
I don't know about
Should
that. Those
exist,
would
it'd be
probably be
amazing.
quite a bit
But,
more
like,
expensive.
Well, I mean, I
But
could
if you
go
get
to a
Ghost Sound
creative
spell
studio
ability, that's really good.
here. I don't know if I'm assuming you guys must have something like that in the States, but there's a couple different centers in the city I can go. You can rent a studio,
In
like
town.
a recording studio.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, like in the larger towns. So
We can do
there's
that
the
in
Cloak
St.
of
Louis, for sure.
Elvenkind. Yeah, but next time we need to go to PaizoCon. That'd probably be the most
Yeah.
applicable place to go for our channels.
Where do they do PaizoCon?
Oh,
Like outside Seattle.
I don't want to go to
Too far
Seattle.
to drive.
Anyway,
Seattle's like right next to you.
stop complaining. You're like a state away. That's one of our states away.
Compared to your epic journey of this weekend of all your flights getting canceled.
Adam's flights didn't cancel. He drove like a smart boy. He didn't
Mhm.
take
Yeah.
3 planes
Yep.
straight north to New York and then to Toronto and then 5,000 miles across country to Edmonton.
Yep.
An asshole.
The floating shield, I thought, might be pretty... I don't know if required is the right word. It's a very expensive shield. If we were
Well,
going,
that just sounds like an animated shield. Cashew's got one of those.
It's a dancing shield.
Yeah, it's a dancing shield. It's very expensive for the setting, because if we're running off the silver standard, that's 28,000 gold instead of 2,800. But again, it's not bad. You get a dancing shield basically, and at that level, it's going to depend.
That's about how much that shield would cost in Pathfinder 1E, if I remember correctly. Animated is not cheap.
Very true, very true. And it's only a light wooden shield, so it's still a free AC bonus that you don't have to spend an action to have. You just operate it once and it's done. So for a 2-weapon fighter who's just holding it, and then they put it up, and then they're done, that might not be that bad. Staves, however, I'm not super... I don't know. Staves were already kind of tricky before, but...
A lot of the times when you had staves, they were better, weirdly enough, as weapons than they were as staves. Because they usually had an ability to... spend a charge in the stave to... What is it, like the Staff of Curses? You could whap someone with it and expend a charge in the staff after you whapped them.
Cool. And that may come back. The one that they highlight is the Staff of Healing. You have to be invested, and interestingly, healing is going to be under necromancy, so they're changing the way necromancy works.
Life and death.
Necromancy isn't evil because it helps you with healing? Oh!
Yeah, there you go.
Shock!
Well,
what will Pharasma do in the meta?
They're just reimagining how positive and negative energy works. It's just energy now. Like electricity.
Yeah, people are gonna... just... You're healed.
You're
not healed.
I wonder how positive energy fluorescence compared to electricity-powered fluorescence.
Only one way to find out. They probably feel real good to stand under them. Make your skin glow.
You never get tired.
Never get tired.
I've been awake for 72 hours.
72 hours.
Ah!
But it seems like the Staff of Healing is basically going to be a buff to your heals. And if this is something to go on, I figure that people are going to use the staves as something you hold to get bonuses on something you're already doing, and not something that you're really casting from on a regular basis. A level 3 item that's only going to give you stabilize and heal at level 1. I don't know. I don't know that that's going to be as useful at level 3 and up as it would have been maybe at level 2. But I don't know. We'll have to see, because we're not sure how items are going to stack up against each other really until we see the full list. I'm interested. I do like the idea of trinkets. I don't like that they can't be recharged. But I think
they're just like paperweights after you use them.
That's how I understood it. I may be wrong, but...
Well, if that's how they're running it, I think there might be a lot of early on homebrew against that, because that kind of sucks. Especially if the trinket is supposed to be, like, emotionally significant to a character.
Certain magic items, definitely in the playtest, there would be rules added to recharging certain magic items, such as a wand of magic missile or something like that.
Now, see, we do have stuff for that in this blog. You recharge your stabs and wands and stuff with your resonance, and it recharges a number of charges equal to the highest spell you can cast, I think it was, by spending resonance on it.
Right.
I'm not looking at the blog, so I'm kind of paraphrasing. But
Like
By
investing
spending-
a
I like
point
that a
of
lot
resonance into it, or by investing that many points of resonance into it? Like, if the highest level spell you can cast is 6th, are you investing 6 points of resonance into it, or just 1 for those
Yeah.
6 points of charge?
it's 1 point. 1 point for highest spell level you can cast goes back into the wand. I'm pretty sure. I'm not again looking at the blog right now. I guess I
Well-
should bring it up because we're talking about it and stuff.
Yeah, Tommy. Yeah, get on the ball. Get on the ball.
Yeah, Tommy. Yeah, get on the ball.
With the way it looks, staves and staves are gonna be really high investment on RP. Which I'm kind of wish they would have a different set of initials for resonance points than RP, because we already use that in the meta. But
nah, bro, you gotta role play those staves, man.
So it's you use your resonance points and when you invest in it, it restores charges to the staff equal to the highest level of spell you can cast.
So the investment is
So
the
that's
thing
pretty
that's
good.
the investment's the thing that recharges
So
it.
if I can cast up to 10 level spells, when I invest in this thing every day, I get 10 charges back. If I'm a first level caster, I get a charge every day by investing, etc., etc.
My only issue when it comes to the trinkets charges and then using resonance, you have a limited amount per day use. So that means a character with a low charisma not going to have that many uses. So are they going to fix it?
The thing about that is they will, just not out the gate, because it's charisma plus character level. So
Yeah.
like the level 1 you have a resonance, and that means that it's a max hit point meta. So like level 1, and you have racial hit points, so it won't be as cutthroat as it is like in Pathfinder First Edition. But as like a level 15 character is 15 plus charisma, and since I think ability score increases are changing as well, I think it's not going to be hard to buff your charisma. And 15 charges in a world where there's not like all the magic item, like the big 6 is gone. I think it should be. It'll be eventually like you can burn through them, but you'd have to try to.
Yeah, I am just thinking of builds that doesn't require charisma. So
Well, there will be builds in the meta. Like, you're still gonna, regardless of what level you are on your charisma, you will have a effective resonance pool of 1 at level 1. You will be able to use at least one magic thing at level 1.
Yeah, and I don't know
You
if
still
you're
got
even
flat checks
gonna
after that.
have magic items at level 1, and your low charisma classes like your barbarians and your fighters and your other heavy marshals aren't necessarily going to need that many magic items, aside from what odd flavorful thing you pick in your magic weapons, whatever magic weapons look like in 2nd edition.
Mm-hmm.
But
Also, since we're not doing the traditional the point buy system as we know it in Pathfinder, since it's going to be more Starfinder-esque, nobody's coming in, especially now, with 7 charisma in this game. Like a lot of the full marshals would do to optimize in 1E, everyone will have at least 10.
Or a Smurf
even
Nevlin
the
with
flat checks that we can make.
Or a Smurf Nevlin with 5
charisma.
charisma. Or whatever he had.
3.
He had
Even
3 charisma? He shouldn't
Even
have
then, you can buy that off, because
Man.
the way the system works, I have a flaw in my charisma, but wherever I can put this +2 that's floating, I'll just put it there and negate the flaw.
Yeah, he dumped it to 7, and then Smurf Nevlins have a -4 to charisma because they're really, really shy and reclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is what happens when you're a non-evil race living in the Underdark.
Yep.
A3 charisma? Wow.
That's below an
Yep,
animal.
that's that geokineticist and Hail the Gorilla King.
That's Smurf Nevlin is clinically anxious all the time.
But he'll never
All the
tell
time.
you about it because he doesn't know how to express his feelings. But we keep bouncing back and forth between staves and trinkets and resonance, and really that's appropriate
It's
because
like we're friends, and it's like we enjoy talking to each other.
yeah. The
We're not friends,
I think-
Tommy, we're professionals, damn it.
We can't be friends, man. We can't be friends.
We should have watched that stupid movie with the guy in the hat. Kane knows exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know
what the hell was going on in that movie.
I don't either. I don't even know what's going on in that Steven Seagal movie.
Steven Seagal was going on. That's what was going on.
Weird.
Yeah, he was just doing his Seagal
he got
thing.
some going on.
But
his greasy hair and his big old Christian Bale beard.
But the staves, I think, will be a bit of a sink on your resonance. You'll have to... Which is not going to be a big deal with the clerics because they're already commonly high on charisma anyway. So they'll have the resonance to spend. But you spend resonance to cast from the wand, which is problematic for me anyway, when you may be needing to spend that resonance somewhere else. But again, you're getting a lot.
I think if the campaign you're running or the games you're running are a little more episodic in nature, or at least the way action occurs is a little more episodic, refilling staves and stuff isn't going to be a huge issue because you'll have that downtime to spend resonance to refill your staves, especially as you level. No early game, it's going to be a lot more difficult. And if you run games where there are long stints where you can't sit down and fiddle, can't resource manage, then it's definitely going to be a problem. But I feel like that's kind of the point of running games with fiddling resource management.
Yeah, so like in Rise of the Rune Lords, it's so easy because there's all that downtime. But like where Lord the Gallifrey is the idea. Because in Rune Lords, you got a month of downtime, charge my 20 staves, and put them in the backpack for further use.
Well, you gotta invest in each of those staves too. That's going to be 20 points of investment.
But that's that day. I invest in this one, and then I put it in, and then
I see what you're saying.
So it's just like I'll spend all my investment on day one. If I have like 10 points to invest, I'll invest into 10 different staves and then recharge them for X, Y, Z, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4 makes 10 variables, and then do the same thing just over and over, which I like.
And they're going to be doing downtime. They're specifically breaking things up for downtime, battle, and exploration. So they're giving you that time to recharge. I can see problems arising as far as someone who doesn't have a lot of resonance trying to use a stave. I don't think that...
They probably don't, because they're probably a barbarian, and then they pick up this staff. It's not like Skyrim, where like, this staff does this, It's just like, you're a barbarian, and this staff is probably actually for whacking. But I'll try it.
Well, I don't know, Tommy, because if it's your level, and then even if you dump your charisma, again, with the way, like in Starfinder, going negative stats was useless. You didn't get anything from it.
Yeah.
You didn't get anything from it for giving your character that mechanical flaw. You didn't get any mechanical advantage out of it. So you probably won't have people that are negative anything. Everybody's going to if they do it like Starfinder, everybody's going to be at 10s to start, and then your scores build up from that.
Yeah, and hopefully they leave out that borderline insulting paragraph of dialogue about giving yourself a handicap.
You could do it if you want to, but you're going to be a terrible person.
It could be fun. Having bad ability scores is fun, because you need numbers to RP.
Yeah.
Everyone who plays this game is stupider than us.
Yeah, they don't... Either your numbers are going to reflect your RP, or your RP reflects your numbers, and it's not your RP reflecting your numbers. You got a character in mind anyway. So, I mean, you're either building it as a character, or you're building it as an exercise. That's a total tangent. Trinkets, I don't like. I like that they're consumable, that they're like a one-time thing that you can use once. But I wish that they were rechargeable or reusable in some way, because they cost, like the Fear Gem costs 110 silver pieces. It costs 11 gold pieces. And the Vanishing Coin, which only gives you 1 round of invisibility, costs 850 silver pieces. I'm already converting to silver pieces. It costs 85 gold pieces. So, if you're getting paid in silver pieces, that's a item level 9 for the Vanishing Coin. It's 1 round.
Yeah, that's the same as Vanish. Actually, that's worse than Vanish, because Vanish is a round per level.
Vanish, you can be invisible for 5 rounds once you get past level 5.
Yeah, it says when you activate the coin, you gain the benefits of a 2nd level invisibility spell until the end of your next turn. That's it. It's just the end of your next turn. So technically it may last 2 rounds. No, it would only last 1 round because you have to focus activation it as a free action on a certain round. So the end of your next round.
You get it for like a round and a half.
Yeah.
Yes, some of these items, with how they're balanced, they're probably going to be fixed for their usefulness or duration use once the playtest it is over with.
Yeah, there's going to be some errata. We're still very heavily in pre-release. We're in playtest beta.
Yeah.
Beta, alpha, delta, omega.
Yeah. And we can tell it's the
We're
beta.
in advanced military positioning.
I do
I'm
like...
just glad we have a beta for real. I'm glad it's not just like here it is. There's no like day 0 patch.
There's no Starfinder. It's not.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. And people seem to like Starfinder. It just won a really prestigious award. Did it? Yeah, it was something like best new RPG at some major con or something. I forget exactly.
Oh, someone paid money for that award.
Yeah.
Oof.
I'm like, there are some better RPGs out there. I'm sorry, Paizo, but there are.
Not to bag on it too hard. I like Starfinder. It's just... It's got some flaws.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, your first AP for it is garbage.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry,
I think it was
Pathfinder.
fun.
I liked pieces of the first AP.
Now, the last thing we did was real bad. I did not like the run through the jungle. That was super rough, and oh my god.
Yeah, that needed fixed. They needed playtesting is what they needed.
All the parts of that game I remember was us doing stuff that either wasn't in the AP or
Rod rolling badly.
Yeah, or me rolling terribly. Or us like specifically trying to circumvent the incredibly linear problem solving the AP allowed us.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. Just sit here and wait for 2 hours. They'll come check up.
Role-playing games.
Yeah. Some of the trinkets that they mentioned that are good for one time are anklets of alacrity. There we go. I said it.
Alacrity.
Feather
and
stepstone.
if you need help pronouncing words, I'm right here. I can help you pronounce
I
words.
tried and did it right. The difference is Tommy doesn't ask.
Incorrectly.
Tommy doesn't ask. He's just like, oh, that sounds about right. But anyway, Feather Stepstone, Forge Warden, which I'm not sure what they're going to do with a single use of that. Why not just get a tutor? Grim Trophy.
I don't know.
Hand Wraps of Mighty Fists. You're going to turn that into a single-use item that doesn't recharge? Why, Paizo?
There's already an item in first edition that kind of works like that.
Yeah, nobody takes
like
it.
It's like a body wrap that mimics what Mighty Fist does, but it only functions on one unarmed or natural attack per round.
Yeah, nobody takes it.
Yeah, because it's bad. That's bad.
Oil of Weightlessness, that could be useful if you are tracking weight. They have simplified weight, so that would be interesting if they're starting to think about that in the meta. Persona Mask, I told Alex that someone was playing a lot of their, PS4 or whatever, for Persona Mask. Potency Crystal, Runestone, very ambiguous name on that one, but I believe they've said those are things you can attach to your weapon. the rune stones.
Are they still only one-use items?
Yes. Spell Duelist Wand, which could be interesting for the Magus build. Third Eye.
I don't know. I think if they're going to have items that essentially mimic scrolls, they should be similarly priced to scrolls.
Yeah.
If they're already amping up the power level in 2nd edition, all you'd be doing is making scrolls a thing that any, mook with 2 thumbs could use.
Yeah. And that's what they say it is. It's basically scrolls for fighters. That's what they call them. Martial characters. Scrolls for martial characters. Why martial characters needed scrolls, I don't really know. They get abilities that make up for
because I don't want to fall off the really high.
Yeah. You can... Oh, come on. Just take Catfall or buy... I don't mind like
they got
a feather...
rock now. Remember you guys were talking about it. They got a rock. You can take a rock and you don't have to take the mean, nasty cat feet.
A feather step
It's
stone.
not mean or nasty. It's great and good. And it lets you jump off and leap out of tall buildings with a single bound.
The awful,
And
terrible catfall feet that Adam hates so much.
I hate it because I hate the idea of a non-mystic styled monk just having that feat and walking off the side of the Empire State Building and being like, "See ya, suckers." And
hey man, we're 16th level. It's a superhero landing.
Yeah, I don't like...
Superhero landing! They're gonna do a superhero landing!
Pretty much. But I think the Feather Step Stone, like a one-use item, replaces that feat. Just think about that. A one-use item replaces a feat. Mm-hmm. And they're probably not going to be that expensive.
But it can't replace the feat if it's a one-use item, because the feat is forever. The one-use item is
yeah,
just that
but
one.
like, again, it comes to the question of how often are you going to fall off really tall shit?
Depends on your meta. It's real good in Skull and Shackles if you're in the crow's nest and you need to like jump off the crow's nest, perhaps to use boarding action and jump to the other ship.
If you're jumping out of the crow's nest to perform a boarding action, you deserve to splatter against the main.
No, you deserve to be amazing, is how that works. I've played Black Flag.
Amazing!
If you're going to be amazing,
That's what you
should
say, too.
acrobatics down the rigging like a normal amazing birdman.
I kind of want to play Skies at some point. Just to do random pirate shit.
A lot of these items, just looking at their usefulness for their worth, it's going to be dependent on the game type. If a feat is actually worth investment for some of these items' usefulness, and vice versa.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. As good as Cat's Fall sounds on paper, I don't think I'm ever gonna take it.
Well, you got
Catfall.
There, you could build a whole thing around. They made falling damage very deadly in 2nd edition, and it seems like
They did. I love it.
they're just throwing away that difficulty by giving you a little bitty stone that's probably going to cost what? Somewhere in the range of 250 silver pieces, maybe 50 silver pieces, maybe 500 silver pieces. And because it ain't going to turn you invisible.
I'm going to go into a pawn shop and I'm going to buy 7 of them and I'm going to put them in a bandolier on my chest.
Based on the level you're at, that is pennies you're using effectively.
Yeah, it's those copper pieces that Canada got rid of.
No.
So
Yeah,
they all went to Pathfinder.
So let's take a level 15 character with the amount of wealth you would be having at that point, spending 250 silver pieces on a single-use item. That is like a potion, effectively, for 1st edition for gold use.
I think there are some kind of contingency items in 1st edition.
Yeah,
things like feather coins, stuff that breaks after you use it once.
Yeah,
they're not expensive at all.
Yeah, and those are contingency items though that don't cost resonance.
Well, nothing costs resonance in 1st edition.
Yeah, you don't have to cast them. You don't have to do anything with them. You buy them once and it's done. Mm-hmm. These cost resonance, if I'm remembering right. Our first example is designed specifically for fighters. Focus activation.
I mean, I do like the idea of, and I mentioned this before, is second edition or Pathfinder is like the Boy Scout of RPGs. It's all about being prepared.
Yeah.
You were playing a character, and if it costs you resonance to use these one-off trinket items like the feather stepstone, if you just like had a whole crapload of them in a box somewhere, like in your house, and it was like, oh, we're going adventuring today, I'll just pop out 5 of these, put them in a bag, I'll spend resonance on one and slip it under my belt, you know. And then if you need it, you've got more lying around to invest into later. I think that could be an interesting little, like, I don't know. I think it would just be a neat little piece of character minutia.
Yeah.
I think that I'm looking over the comments and I don't see that anyone's necessarily brought it up yet. But it doesn't specifically say that you spend resonance on the trinkets. Which, if you don't spend resonance on the trinkets, I suppose at low levels that's good. But once you hit high levels, it's going to be negatable. It's like that. There's going to be this weird mid-game that, or at least I suspect there's going to be this weird mid-game where you're not quite rich and powerful enough to be your character like you're envisioning them, but you're also not weak, but you're also so strong that you can one-shot peasants.
Wow. Yeah, I was gonna say, what's your... I remember when we were playing Beginnings and Endings, and we had to spend a bunch of hero points and personal hit points and other resources to save a family that later became my apprentices.
Yeah, but that was a homebrew. That's not like an official game. It seems to be... It's weird.
Okay, but in the official rules, how many hit points does your average tanner have?
Like 5, probably. 5 to 8.
Yeah, it's the second level. Just I cast Greatsword. The tanner's dead.
But you guys were 14th or 15th level. That's not
spending of hero points and all of Rill's hit points.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that bomb put him to 0.
Yeah. Oh, the Vanishing Coin, it also has a requirement. You have to be a master in stealth to use it. What?
A single use for that?
Yeah. It's 85 gold pieces. You're apparently at least level 9, which in this game is going to be really strong compared to things of even... Levels seem to make a difference in this game quite a bit. So... Even if you're 1 level higher than someone, it seems to make a difference. You have to be a master in stealth to even use the Vanishing Coin. If you're a master in stealth, why do you need the Vanishing Coin?
To break line of sight.
To vanish at them. To go poof.
I know that that you can do it even if someone... even if someone's watching you is the Cloak of Elvenkind. This one is for invisibility.
But can you use stealth even if you're being observed with the Cloak of Elvenkind?
You can do that as a master stealth.
If you have the cloak and the boots, you have hide in plain sight with the cloak and the boots.
Okay, so if you have the set bonus, but I mean, you would use the coin to break line of sight. That's the use for it that I see.
Yeah,
because if you don't have hide in plain sight, you would do whatever it is you do to activate a vanishing coin.
There's probably a lot of other rogues out there that will want to, that might buy a Vanishing Coin, say, and not, invest heavily in their stealth stuff in favor of, say, a more, thuggish rogue, or...
Which is, usually what I play when I play rogues. Magpie is a pretty significant departure from my normal playstyle.
Well, I mean, if you're playing a rogue that doesn't do that, you still have to have master stealth, and can't you stealth even while someone... Yeah, I think I remember reading that when we were going over the skills. You can stealth even when someone's watching you at Master.
I think that was legendary.
Because, no, Legendary was you were stealthing all the time, remember?
It is
Oh
a
yeah,
master.
that's right. That's right. I remember Legendary is your Skyrim crouch all the time.
Yeah.
It is a
Legendary, you become a
it is master.
night kid, you become a huge kleptomaniac.
So that means that this coin is effectively only good for its second level invisibility spell, and it's only good once. And I don't know why you'd need the invisibility spell if you can stealth even while people are watching at Master Stealth.
By that point, as long as you multi-class and through archetypes, you can have invisibility or vanish by ninth level and have more uses out of that class feature or even spell power compared to a item by then.
Yeah. So this item just seems really redundant for someone who already has Master Stealth. I don't know, maybe that was an oversight?
They will probably fix that. This is pre a playtest, so a lot of these things are going to be overhauled.
Yeah. Well, we have gone over time a little bit, so let's go ahead and get back to our thing. And I enjoyed talking with everybody about 2nd edition. Some concerns, some cool stuff. Archetypes looks pretty sweet, being able to bounce back and forth if you need to, or exchange it out for things you don't want from that class for that character. Sounds really cool. And the trinkets, if reworked to where you could recharge them with resonance, maybe that'd be okay. If they were like a once-a-day thing and then the resonance wore off, they weren't made to hold magic or something like that in the lore of the world. It seems like a good start. I'll say that. But
that's fair.
You guys can, you viewers can let us know down below in the comments if you want to. And you can go over and bug Black Dragon Gaming. You can tell them, hey, I saw you on Planar Crossroads. You guys were awesome. Hearts, kisses, or something like that. Something to weird him out. That'd be good. Yeah, go weird out Tommy on his channel.
Yeah, weird me out with your hearts and kisses, and I'll freak out about it. Go over the top.
I'll go over the top. How dare you onomatopoeia at me? I don't even know what that means.
So,
I don't either.
There you go. Thank you, viewers, for coming by. Thank you, travelers, for returning to the Planar Crossroads. We hope you had a great time. Have a great day. God bless and enjoy. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.